Hi, I'm Amy Lewis with NetApp SolidFire here on Pop-Up Tech Talks with Carl. Carl, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Carl Niger. I work for a company called Lumos Consulting. I do mostly ACI, programmability, and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Cool. Well, we're here at Cisco Live, and we were talking before about some of the things that you're thinking about, working on, et cetera. Yep. A security question.
Oh, Lord.
So as a device native, if you will, do you see security differently than I do in my old age?
Dear Lord. Yes. Security is an interesting topic, obviously. Go down the rabbit hole with that one pretty good. I think we were talking earlier, I think the phrase was something about security does bad things to good networks or something along those lines. So yeah, I think there's definitely an interesting kind of intersection between security and ACI in particular for me.
How do you tear down those walls? I think that's a great. So you're on the network side of things, and you have to work with the security people. How do you bridge that gap? Because I think you're right. Everybody's got the company's interest at heart, but how do you cross that gap?
Well, I think beer ops. It's like totally cliche and overused, but also true and relevant.
So build relationships.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the whole thing is right, silos and breaking silos. And Chris Wall will say, silos, cylinders of excellence, but we don't want that, right? We want to kind of cross-pollinate and all of that. So I think it's, just we got to kind of see things from their side and see how we can help, and then try to hopefully bring that back down to like reasonable things that we can support in the network. From a sustainable kind of perspective, I guess.
And what are some of the big flashpoints or problems that you've solved for customers and for yourself in terms of this was a problem and you overcame it?
Sure. So I mean, I think with I live in the ACI world, so it just kind of colors my opinion, but I think there's a lot of interesting things that ACI can do to help insert security devices in ways that would have been really, really hard in, we'll say, traditional networks or something PC, I guess. So there's interesting ways to insert IPSs like inline everywhere. We can do a lot of cool things with microsegmentation. So there's lots of ways that we can kind of meet security halfway, I guess, is maybe the right way to say it, where we can accommodate their requirements because, like you said, right, we have the interest of the business at heart and we don't want to screw things up and we want to make sure that it's secure and good and great and all that. So we just kind of figure out a way to meet in the middle and use flexible technology to kind of get there. So I think that's kind of the name of the game at the moment. So.
What do you see as the trends, the technical trends we're going to see in 2016?
Well, microsegmentation is obviously a huge, buzzy word. I think it means something different to everyone, just like cloud and just like SDN, and still does nothing, still don't know. I don't know what it means anymore. So I think it's all over the place, right? So I think security has been a big focus for me a lot lately, just dealing with customers that are, everything's in the media, everything's blowing up, everyone's getting hacked, so we got to figure out how to mitigate that, but also do it in a responsible way, from a way that we can operationalize. So I think kind of the intersection of that and automation, scripting, something like that is really kind of where I spend a lot of time. So I guess that was a really long-winded answer to.
As people come into the field, what would you advocate in terms of how to be ready? What are the job skills that they're going to need to stay relevant, become more relevant?
So I mean, I think obviously programmability is a huge thing. I think that's been beaten to death with blogs and Twitter and everything ever. I don't think anybody needs to be a programmer to be a network engineer. Speaking from my network engineer, myopic kind of perspective. But I think certainly having some understanding and maybe even like just understanding where you can apply automation and then go to your dev team. Most companies have like some kind of developer or some script kiddie or whatever that can get something done. So I think just kind of broadening your perspective, I guess, and looking for those kind of places where you can save some time, automate something, make your life a little bit easier. Other than that, I mean, good foundational knowledge. And then we kind of sprinkle in these next things that are kind of popping up, and I think then, we'll all just kind of evolve slowly together, I guess.
It's a great world vision.
Well, world peace and beer. I don't know.
So my last question. All right. We're seeing Pokemon Go blow up.
Totally playing it, yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think? Does this mean that VR is here to stay in a new way?
Of course it is. It was going to be here anyway. I got peer pressured into it, but now I'm addicted, and so, yeah, it's been kind of dodging people here, though, because there's like 1 trillion people, and like half of them are playing Pokemon Go, so it's exciting. It's good times. It's a brave new world or something.
Great time to be in tech.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Carl, not Mark. Oh, way to be. That's all right. That's all right.
I totally did.
Pop-up bubble.
And with that, we'll see you next time on Pop-Up Tech Talks.